Hello friends, so today in this video we're gonna discuss the first problem from a Leetcode like a old Leetcode weekly contest 213. The problem is an easy problem, but I don't think so it's an easy problem according to me, but we're gonna discuss this problem. It is a good problem. The implementation is good. Because the constraints are small, you can do this in a brute force way, but you have to think about some implementation. Like there are a lot of ways to solve this problem out. You can find out some other way by your own also, but I will tell you how I approach such type of problems. So as you can see, this problem actually states that you are given an array and an array of pieces. So as you can see, you have some pieces which is also some sort of array. Okay, now you cannot rearrange the pieces order, which means that you have some pieces like 85 is one piece, 88 and 15 is another, like there are two pieces. This is one piece as a whole, this array as a whole, and the order of the numbers in this particular piece cannot be changed. Like the piece is a fixed part. You can assume that this is some sort of writing which is done on it, so the writing cannot be changed, the numbers order cannot be changed. This is one particular fixed piece. Now as you can see, the piece is fixed. What you can do here is you actually have to place these pieces on this array ARR such that they matches out. So you have to somehow place all the pieces on this array such that in the end they should all match out. If that is possible, then the answer is yes, else the answer is no. I hope you understand the question part. So you have to somehow match out all the pieces on this array. Now what you can simply, because the constraints are up to 100, you can do this in an O of n cube operation. Okay, but now what you can simply think about this problem is like how I can match out that every piece is matching out. So like the simplest thing which you can which comes to my mind is like, okay, for every piece try to put that piece on this array. Okay, try to put that whether this piece can be fixed. But the main thing which comes to my mind next is like it can happen that two pieces can be overlapping. So let's assume that if I found out that this is one piece which I can place here in the array. Okay, but now other piece can be like this. Okay, and if it can be placed also, I just marked out that okay, this can also be placed. So if both are placing, then I will and the last piece can be this only. So if these are the pieces, this and this, my answer will be okay, because like I can place these pieces out. But that's not okay, because this is overlapping. So it means that I have to also ensure that the pieces should not overlap. If I put out this piece, then I cannot again pick out or put another piece starting from this which is overlapping. So I have to also ensure that I have to also make an array for storing out which part is fixed or actually filled. Okay, if I put out this if I put out this piece, then all of these three parts are fixed. Now I cannot put a part like this, because we can only put a piece at a position which is not actually originally filled, and then we actually have to put all the pieces. So if any of the piece cannot be placed, then the answer is no. So it means that I have to make an array which will keep track of which of the pieces are filled, and also we have to just iterate over every possible piece. Okay, so just I have now different pieces, okay, like this, and now okay, if I take out this piece, I will match out. So let's assume that this piece has two numbers. Okay, then I will match out the first piece number with every number. Okay, if they match out, then only I will try placing that piece at this position. But I will only try placing that piece at this position when this position is not fixed, this position is not already filled, and also this piece matches out. If both of these this piece first value and the value in the array matches out and this is not filled, then only I will try to put that piece here. If I want to try put this piece here, I do not directly put it. We have to first match out. How will match out? We'll iterate over this piece, and starting from this value we will iterate over the piece, and we will check that whether I can put a piece at this position till that no value is filled. If no value is filled, we will just match out and find out, okay, now no value is filled, I can place that piece here. So what I will do, I will just again iterate over the whole array, over this speed, like over which I have filled the position, I will mark it as 1, which means that okay, now I have filled this position with this piece. Now I will iterate over the next piece and do the same thing. I will iterate over the whole array, starting from the first position to the end position, and just match it with the piece first value and every value in the array. If that matches out, and if that position is not already filled, we can check that it is filled or not with this like frequency array or like any array for marking out which position is filled and which is not filled. If it is not filled and the first value matches out, then we will try to place that block or that piece starting from this till the piece ended out, and we have to just match that whether we can put a piece there such that every value can be placed without like contradicting the condition that they do not overlap. So we can just match out with the position which are filled, and that's the whole logic for this problem. I can show the code part now. You can look in the code in the description also. So what I actually had done here is like there can be multiple ways also, but I think that this is the very simple approach. The implementation is also not too difficult, but you have to just write the code correctly. So as you can see, this is the check variable to check that whether that position is filled or not. Then we will iterate over every possible position, and then we first make a placed boolean variable which actually tells that whether like I can place this piece in this array or not. We have to ensure that, because I have to place every possible piece. If the piece is not placed, as you can see in the end, after like for every piece we will do some operation, I'll tell you. But if this piece is not placed, if this piece remains out to be false in the end also, we just return out false, which means that I cannot place this because this piece is not placed. So it means that I have to place every possible piece. This piece is not placed, so the answer is false. So for every possible piece, what I will do, I will iterate over the whole array starting from 0 till n and find out that match out the current position with the pieces, like this is the piece first position and the array jth position, like every position in the array with the piece first position. If they match out and the array of that jth position or at which I'm matching, it should be 0. It is not filled. If it is not filled, what we'll do, we have a possible place at which I can put. So I will mark this place as a true. Okay, now let's see that whether I can put a piece at there. So we'll iterate over, this is not like, this is the third for loop. This is the first for loop, second for loop, the first for loop for every piece. This is for iterating over the whole array. Now this is the okay. So I have found out a particular position. Now I will iterate over that position over the size of the piece. So now I have to put the full piece here. What we have to ensure that, we have to ensure that the piece, like we have to iterate from left to right, the piece can be fixed at that position. If it can be fixed, we have to check that for every position like that the position should not be filled. If it is not filled, we will continue out because we can put that piece, like that particular position at there. If it is filled, then we have to return a false, which means that like we have to mark out okay equal to false, which means that okay, now this piece cannot be fixed at this position because it turns out to be false. So then the next thing here can be, after if we mark okay equal to false, which means that even I found out a starting position, we cannot put that cannot put that piece there. If I cannot put that piece there, I will just continue out and we will make our play, like my place is false till now because I have not placed that block. But if I have placed that block there, my okay turns out to be false. If my okay turns out to be false, then what will happen, that my okay turns out to be true. If I place this okay, like the false will not hit. If the false will not hit, what will happen, my okay will remain to be true. If my okay is true, then what we'll do, we'll again iterate over that whole block position or that piece position and mark everything with 1. At the whole position it should be marked 1 because now I have placed that piece there and I have placed that piece there. So my piece is placed now. So I will mark my piece as placed. If my piece is placed, I will, so when this for loop is actually iterating over every possible starting position for that particular piece. If my piece is placed, then I will just break out now because now I do not want to place that piece again. So after breaking out of this for loop, I will have to check that whether my piece is placed. If my piece is placed, I will just break out because now I have placed. If it is not placed, we will iterate over the next position, next possible candidate in the array at which I can place that piece. And then if we can find out any position, if at any position this piece can be placed, then we will break out and we'll check that okay, if it is placed, it is good. If after, like for every possible position in the array, even I cannot put that piece, so then the place will remains to be false. If it remains to be false, then the answer is false because now I cannot play, like I have found out a piece which I cannot place, so the answer is false. Else every piece is placed, this condition will not hit and we just safely get out of this for loop because every piece is placed. So in the end the answer is true. So you can look at the code. If you have some like problem, you can mention in the comment box. As the next one, till then, keep coding and bye.